Stephen to Tommy, the lion in the alley. Stephen grew up in the kind of place you don't read about unless something's gone terribly wrong. A tired English town, where the factories had closed. The high street was fading, and the people got on with life the best they could. He wasn't born into politics, but he was born with a stubborn sense of justice that didn't fade when things got uncomfortable. That's why, when he uncovered the scale of the grooming gang scandal vulnerable young girls preyed on, authorities looking the other way, he couldn't stay silent. The more he spoke, the more the pushback came. First, it was whispers in the local press, then national headlines branding him dangerous, a far-right racist, and a threat to community cohesion. The state made its move. Arrests, court orders, gagging restrictions. His words were torn out of context and his reputation torn to pieces. It was during those years that Stephen became Tommy, a name easier to chant at a rally than to bury in a smear piece. Tommy wasn't a different man. He was the same man with a harder skin. His fight not only became a scandal itself, it was bigger. It became about free speech, about whether an ordinary person could speak the truth without being destroyed for it. The authorities tried to silence him. Tech companies erased his voice. Protest zones were pushed to the shadows. Yet every time they knocked him down, he stood back up. Others began to join him. Scaffolders, nurses, ex-soldiers, mums and dads. Together they formed the Uncensored Patriots. Slowly the tide turned. The trials proved what Tommy had said years before. The public saw the pattern. The same politicians and journalists who once mocked him were now cautiously admitting the problem. Among the working class, Tommy's name turned from a warning into a rallying cry. September 13th. Envisage the Free Speech Festival. From dawn, trains, coaches, and transit vans will pour into the capital. By midday, the streets of central London will be a sea of faces. Union flags rippling in the breeze, placards jutted above the crowd. We will not be silenced. Truth is not hate, our voice, our country. Then will come the sound, not music, not speeches, but a chant swelling deep in the square. When Tommy appears, it won't be from some polished stage entrance. Tommy will walk through the crowd, shaking hands, clasping shoulders. A man once branded an enemy of the state will now walk through hundreds of thousands who see him as their voice. He will climb the steps and turn to face the biggest free speech rally in modern British history. Media will circle above, but all that will matter is the roar in front of him. He'll let it roll, let it grow, and then he'll speak. Brothers, sisters, patriots. They called us dangerous. They called us hateful. They tried to shame us into silence. But we are here because we refuse to be told what we can and cannot say. Years ago, I warned about what